very fast, and that is what the investors board and this startup model has started giving us the pressure. So, so what we do expect that, like, there are the subjects like professional ethics, there are organized structure, emotional appeal, rational appeal. Now these all need to be related to the case studies, and those case studies, when they understand, and there should be a mentor from the industry at that time only supporting them. So there has to be a collaboration between the industry and the academicians in hand-holding students in doing those skills. We should not give them just a case study. A mentor from the industry should hand-hold them, correct them, and during the internship or during the job, should expect the deliverables out of it. That will make the things much faster. Secondly, there are not many domestic tourism boards and the international tourism boards are running their destination programs. So the students should be encouraged to roll into those destination models. Some like Aussie specialist or destination specialist, like Kerala is also doing something. My JNK also must be doing. So this and we should be able to identify the skill set of that. Like what happens, like in any of the courses we have seen in many of the curriculum, you are reading all the subjects in first or second semester, and then third or fourth the specialization comes. We should understand, okay, these are the students who have specialized mice and they want to take care of it. These are the students who have specialized hotels. Most of the time what is coming to us when we are getting the interns and that point of time they are deciding what to do. Many of the people, I was in the outbound industry, just trying to explain, people to understand, I myself have been traveling to many countries, and people to understand, when I am promoting Thailand, Malaysia, Singapore, I will get a more opportunity to travel. But you will realize that those people who are promoting domestic tourism, getting more opportunity to present India outside and are traveling more, which they don't get to know. They understand that they are doing domestic tourism, so there is an opportunity everywhere. They are getting domestic. Even outbound, we have to do a sales mission within India to our client to encourage them to travel outside. So what I will say that something, the mental block what we have created with the segmentation, that has to be removed before they come to the industry. Specialization sectors should be setting, mentors should be there, they are part of the curriculum, and then you see the results which will be coming. It won't be about the placement, it will be like a demand where the student can demand, this is my cost for this skill set which I am going to give, and these are my deliverables. So deliverables are not to be given by the organization, deliverables can be judged by the candidate, and the cost can be decided upon that. That I will say.
Thank you. No, I will, from business, I will come to ethics as well, because we have two very eminent scientists with us. I will first go to Dr. Pant, who is associated with the environment sciences from a very long time. Dr. Pant, what is your take on when we talk about tourism? Because then we find people from the environment, they are lobbying that yes, mass tourism ho gaya, tourism say environment degradation ho rahi hai, we are having business at the cost of environment. So what is your take as an environment, someone who is very much concerned with environment? So what is your take on this? कि जो business है उसमें और environment में should we create a balance? And yes, we need to create a balance. And how that balance is to be reached?
Thank you, Dr. Tanish, for including me in this panel. Right, as far as you are concerned about tourism, and that is something related to environment, then I, in my personal opinion, or as a botanist or as an environmentalist, it's one's perception related to the environment. Okay? When I talk about the environmental conservation, then obviously आप नाराज हो जाएंगे क्योंकि business कम है. On the other side, when business बढ़ेगा तो tourism कम हो जाएगा. Sorry, tourism बढ़ेगा लेकिन environmental conservation कम हो जाएगा. ठीक है? So we are here in this world as a tourist, so behave sensibly, because Earth belongs to us and we belong to Earth. Then, and on the other side, there should be a proper linkage between environment and industry as far as the tourism industry is concerned. In my personal opinion, one should advocate the cultural tourism without giving anything extra. One should adopt the cultural, basic ethnic item of that particular place, and one can take the example of this Great Himalayan National Park of Himachal Pradesh. They will never allow to carry plastic bags, polythene bags, and other plastic items. Okay, and even they provide you the tents and other basic homestay type concept in their particular area. So one should know very well when there is a proper linkage in between environment and as well as in the tourism, then we can go for the concept of the sustainable tourism. And on the other side, nowadays we have a concept of ecotourism. But another, in my personal opinion, ecotourism, they is always possible, but benefit sharing is also with the local inhabitants, and ecotourism in connection with the upliftment of the local inhabitants. That is most appropriate and sensible in manner whenever we talk about the cultural tourism as well as the environmental conservation.
Thank you, Dr. Paul.
Because this is a sustainable, because recently Bhutan got opened up on 26th of September, and they have put a sustainable fee. This is like for Indian, it is like 1200, and for the foreigners it is like 200 euros. So when we are creating a sustainable model, and you put a some fee, and that fee goes towards the utilization and maintenance of the system, that actually means the deliverables of the things and things coming to the practice. So like what sir said, it makes sense that if we are avoiding tourism, the people who are earning from tourism won't be happy. But if we are doing this thing, there is a cost, and people are paying the cost, we are sustaining that cost for the betterment, and plus we are also encouraging tourism.
This is also in continuation with the benefit sharing with the locals.
Exactly, that also comes.
That should be a community
Definitely, community.
Let's go to P. Dada Sahab, because he is one who is both into the business and then very die-hard someone who is die-hard sort of person as far as the responsible tourism is concerned. So, आप कैसे बैलेंस कर रहे हैं इसको? And what is your advice to us? Because मैं कहता हूँ कि tourism बढ़े, डॉक्टर साहब कहते हैं कि नहीं, it should not be at the cost of environment. आप businessman ही हैं और आप responsible tourism की बात भी करते हैं. So what is the balance? Where is the point of balance?
देखिए हमने जो तबाही करनी थी हमने तो कर दी. But now the advice is for these children. These children have to be taught. सबसे बड़ी बात यह है कि एजुकेशन देना है. Where we teach them how they can be responsible. अगर ये कहीं जा रहे हैं तो अपना फुटप्रिंट ऐसा रखें कि आने वाली जो इनके बाद जो आने वाली को ये है नस्ल है वो इनकी तारीफ करे. हमारी तारीफ कोई नहीं करेगा, बिकॉज हमने अर्थ को उस मकाम पे रखा है जहाँ पर कि अब ये ब्लास्ट होने वाला है. बट इन बच्चों को हमें दिखाना है, आने वाले बच्चों को हमें दिखाना है कि भाई गार्डनिंग कैसे करते हैं. आप वो चीज़ें आप इस्तेमाल कीजिए जो हमारी सेहत के लिए ठीक है, जिनमें केमिकल्स ना हो. Last year I was very happy to see this glass bottle over here instead of a plastic bottle. ये हमें मेंटेन करना है. दूसरी बात आप देख लीजिए, जब हम कहीं होटल में जाते हैं, we have to have our bed sheets and towels changed every day. What? हम घर में डेली चेंज करते हैं. Why can't we be responsible? Why can't we tell them? I was working with ITC hotels in Tamil Nadu, और वहाँ पे हमने I was in Ooty, हमने stickers लगाए थे. Your bed sheet will not be changed till you demand. जब तक वो स्टेन ना हो हम चेंज नहीं करते. हम घर में अपना कितने देर के बाद टॉवल अपना चेंज करते हैं. आपको धुली ही टॉवल होटल्स में मिल रही है. Why do you want it to get it changed every day? What for? ऐसे कौन से दाग लग जाते हैं हमारी बॉडी पे जो उतारना है और कुछ चाहिए. आप बच्चों को ये सिखाइए कि ट्रीज कैसे प्लांट करने हैं. हमने ट्रीज हम काटते जाते हैं. हमने तो डेजर्ट्स बना दिए हैं. रिसेंटली हमारे एक होटल चेन हमारी JNK में है, बहुत बड़ी चेन है, नाम नहीं लूँगा मैं. उन्होंने अपने एक यूनिट का इनॉग्रेशन सोनभद्र में किया. बिलीव मी रानी साहब, हम जितने भी वहाँ पे टूरिज्म के लोग थे, वी वर ऑन द वर्ज ऑफ लीविंग। जो कंक्रीटाइजेशन सोनमर्ग में हुई है वो शायद कहीं और नहीं हुई। आई रिमेंबर, yes, I remember Honorable Governor Mr. Vora जब यहाँ पे थे, he was so concerned about that place. कई बार मीटिंग्स में उन्होंने रिक्वेस्ट की पब्लिक को कि आप सोनमर्ग बचाइए। रिलीजियस टूरिज्म की बात करते हैं, अमरनाथ यात्रा जब हमारी होती है उसके बाद हम टीम लेके अपने वॉलंटियर्स लेके वहां जाते हैं, वी गेट टन्स ऑफ गार्बेज फ्रॉम देयर। कब आएगी हमें अकल? कब हम समझेंगे? कब हम सुधरेंगे? हम तो सुधरेंगे, अब बच्चों को सुधारना है, अब ये हमको सुधारेंगे और इनके हवाले है, ये दुनिया इनके हवाले है, अपनी दुनिया संभालें।
थैंक यू।
We all rightly said कि हम कब अपने आप को संभालेंगे, कब संभालेंगे, तो इसका एक सोल्यूशन है कैश में है। जब हम उन्हें यंग स्टेज से समझाने की कोशिश करेंगे, then only we will achieve our goal. Otherwise it's आधा ही बिगड़ जाएंगे। आप ही नहीं, I am pointing out the example of कुरैशी साहब ने अपने प्रेजेंटेशन कश्मीरी में डाली नहीं है। This is a bad impact of the infiltration. But sometimes infiltration is good. Nowadays we always see the cuisines of Kashmiri Wagwan. It's not originally Kashmiri. It's because of the infiltration. Sometimes infiltration is good, but sometimes infiltration is bad. Cross-cultural is sometimes good, but again cross-cultural is sometimes bad. So catch them young. Then only we will achieve our goal.
Thank you, Bhatt sir. Now I will, in the end, I will go to Ashik sir, Dr. Ashik Malik, who is from this place, the one who is promoting Eid Punjab as a tourist destination. और मैंने बहुत बार इनको सुना है कि कहते हैं कि पीर पंजाब should be promoted as a tourist destination. लेकिन साथ में ये भी कहते हैं कि जो ऑलरेडी हमारी टूरिस्ट डेस्टिनेशंस हैं वहाँ बहुत कम पड़ा है। तो जो हमारी बची हुई प्लेसेस हैं, they are the virgin lands. आप क्यों चाहते हैं कि उनको कमर्शियलाइज किया जाए? इन केस आप कमर्शियलाइज अगर करना चाहते हैं तो व्हाट इज योर एडवाइस टू द स्टेक होल्डर्स कि जितना भी अब हमारे पास कंबाइंड लेक्स हैं, इतना वर्चुअल लैंड्स हैं, दे आर वेरी प्योर। कि एक एग्जांपल हमारे सामने है मुगल रोड की, जो मुगल रोड पे जिन्होंने ट्रैवल किया होगा, आई ट्रैवल्ड देयर इन 2009 व्हेन वो थोड़ा सा अभी बन रही थी रोड, एंड even in the month of September आप वहाँ स्नो देखते थे, ग्लेशियर्स होते थे। बट आज की डेट में अप्रैल में भी आप मुगल रोड से ट्रैवल कीजिए, इन द मंथ ऑफ अप्रैल यू विल नॉट फाइंड एनी स्नो। द रीजन इज इतना हैवी ट्रैफिक है कि वो उसकी इकोलॉजी बड़ी डिस्टर्ब है। तो आशिक साहब क्यों चाहते हैं कि पीर पंजाब की टूरिस्ट डेस्टिनेशंस को प्रमोट किया जाए, और इन केस किया जाए तो व्हाट इज हिज सॉल्यूशन कि उन उसकी जो फ्रेजाइल एनवायरनमेंट है उसको कैसे प्रोटेक्ट रखें? Please.
Of course, we know the sustainable development where the economy, environment, and the society go hand in hand. So, if we consider these three parameters, naturally we will be solving many problems and serving many purposes. Of course. We learn sometime from the other mistakes, and if we see the environmental degradation that is caused by the tourism industry, other the tourists in other parts of the world and within the country, and since the Pir Punjab region that is still a virgin region, we can devise the mechanism, especially we have a we can say premier seat of learning. So what tourism is concerned in the Baba Ghulam Shah Pasha University, and can we innovate, can we devise the mechanism, design the mechanism through which the Pir Punjab could be the best example so far sustainable tourism or responsible tourism is concerned. So in this regard, of course, we can see in one slide I have shown the weathering. So the rocks are breaking, and this is not the very old phenomena. Maybe 30, 40 or 50 year phenomena is there, and can we think to reverse this? Of course, it's a natural process. When the China that can bring the artificial rain, why can't we reverse the weathering? That is also one concern that is mainly witnessing in the Punjab region, Alpine region, and I don't think that this is also happening in the Gulmarg and other areas. So that is the main concern for the environmentalists and we can say tourism experts and the generations. Of course, on the one hand, we are going to promote the tourism in the Punjab, but the beauty of the Punjab that is being tarnished by the weathering, and we will not see the meadows in the coming 30 or 40 years. So how we can halt this process, that is also the main concern. And can we intervene in the, we can say, policy making? We have a project of some 86 crores in the Punjab, and that is on the way. And there is a, the dollar is there, and other, we can say, road also we have, just recently we have again requested the Home Minister when he visited Rajouri recently for the road. But that is also there. But on the other hand, how we can consider that together we have to devise the mechanism, and other thing is we have to copy the best practices. For example, we have the Geneva or we can say or other places or even within the countries, how they are maintaining their environment, and those practices we have to copy here. And my previous concern that how we can train the untrained. I think there should be a strong coordination between all stakeholders, especially industry, the activists, and the academic institutions. And their training should be there, special training, at least the summer school should be there in the tourism every year. That should be the best practice of the Baba Kalam Shah University. Every year, at least 30-40 people from across the nation or even across the region, we can call and we can train them, and they could be the ambassadors for the professional tourism that they can do. And likewise, we can say we can invite the experts from the other universities, and we can have their expertise to promote the tourism, so that in the light of the damage caused by tourism to the other areas. So these are some of the discussions, and more importantly, nobody can change as
I will not take much of your time. I will straight away go to Puneet because he is from the industry and he might be experimenting new things as far as the industry goes. So Puneet, what sort of difference you have seen among the customers or the travelers we say as far as pre and the post-COVID era is concerned? What are the major concerns that you would find in people who are contacting you for arranging their tours and something like that? So what is the basic difference that you are looking at?
See, particularly, recently after COVID, what we are observing, the first point I will say the touch point. So now the number of people who are used to be coming to the retail offices, that has gone slower down. And because people have got the experience of having the details on the Zoom calls or on the phone calls, so that is a touch point has. So now, earlier we were having the opportunity to speak to the people in person, express the things, which right now we have more the things we have to give it to them on the online mode. So the one difference which has come is that our product line has to be so descriptive that it has to gain that attention of the people to come back to us. It is no more like just a follow-up call, sir, what you are thinking about your holidays. Our first quotation has to be descriptive and it should give all the details. Second thing, the people have now also not asking only for a 3, 4, 5-star category. They are asking for a category of room, they are asking for the location of the room. They are concerned that your resorts is in which area, is whether it is crowded or no in that case. So I will say that touch point is descriptive elements which are coming on the road, and as what Dr. Qureshi has presented in the presentation, in that they are concerned about the experience, they are concerned about the enjoyment, because they have been there in their compact area for so much of time. Now they are traveling outside, so they want to see that how can they enjoy, how can they be close to the nature. So like if I talk about strategically walking tours, farm tours, it's not like a generic city tour. Earlier what we used to say, sir, your 3 hours duration of city tour is covered in this program. No. Now it is to be very descriptive. In this city tour, it's a photo stop, is it a orientation program, it's a walking tour, it's a guided tour. So these all details has come into the highlight, and I think this is what we are right now are started practicing into our product portfolio to be offered to the clients.
Thank you, Puneet. Before I proceed, I request Dr. Pant to kindly share the panelists. Please.
Dr. Pant.
Dr. Pant is the coordinator, Department of Environmental Sciences, one who is very keen scientist, very innovative in his field as far as environment is concerned, and he will definitely address some of our queries. Now I will straight away go to Riyaz Sahab, since he is a very senior academician among us, among our tribe, particularly in J&K. Riyaz Sahab, जैसा हम देख रहे हैं कोविड के बाद जॉब्स चेंज हो रही हैं, जैसे उन्होंने कहा नो इट्स ज़ूम कॉल, पीपल आर नॉट विजिटिंग टू द ऑफिसेज, तो कहीं हम जो अपने बच्चों को हमें ट्रेन करना है, जो हमारी पर्टिकुलरली वो आर टू द टूरिज्म एंड हॉस्पिटैलिटी, तो एकेडमिक्स का इसमें क्या रिएक्शन है, और जो रिएक्शन एकेडमिक्स का रहा कोविड के बाद, whether that is sufficient to train our manpower or we need to do much more?
Of course, there has been a gradual change. When we are talking about the present scenario of tourism, not only at the local level, but at the international level. And of course, the very important thing which needs to be addressed to make tourism successful is that we are supposed to have a very good human resource. And for the good human resource, we need human resource development. Unfortunately, the problems which we are facing, and what has been my bitter experience, is that one of the main obstacles in the development of tourism in this part of the world has been that we are having experienced people, but we don't have the professionally trained people who know the ABC of tourism. You know, with the passage of the car, you know, there are new innovations, there is a change in the what we say, the consumption pattern, there is a change in the infrastructure development, so there is an increase in the competition. So those destinations which are having a very good human resource, who are professionally trained and who are in a position to cater the demand of the increasingly changing tourism scenario, so they are in a position to capitalize it. And of course, the educational institutions have to play a very pivotal role in the overall development of tourism, and it is not possible unless and until we have a very close industry academia interface. So one of the problem in this part, especially when I am talking about South Asia and especially our own country, and Kashmir is a very Jammu and Kashmir is a very appropriate example, that there is a big gap between when we say the industry and academia. Unless and until our students are not well versed what are the recent trends and what they are supposed to do in the industry, how come they will be in a position to cater the demand? So in such a scenario, the educational institutions have to play a pivotal role. And you know, what had been my experience in the developed world, the educational institutions are called the think tanks. But here, we stay nowhere. So there are town Dick and Harry who are taking the residence. Even when I was talking about tourism policy, unless and until we don't have the, I'm not talking about only tourism. We have people from botany, we have people from environmental science, we have people from history, we have people from sociology. We have people from different parts, because when we are talking about tourism, it is a phenomenon, it is multidimensional, and the whole host community is supposed to be well versed. And in that case, educational institutions have to play an important role. And it is only by the pivotal role and very active role by the academic institutions that we can have a good brigade of properly trained people who can get the demand. So that's
thank you. Yeah.
As far as this question is concerned, so we in this particular part of this country, like Kashmir and Jammu and Kashmir as well, we have one of the biggest problems with the travel industry is that is not organized. But first thing is that is not organized in what way? our students are, whenever we send them for interns for training, they get demotivated of joining the industry, and they get totally demotivated from the skills what are being taught in the industry, in the college of the industries. The first thing what I need is that we must go for the organization of our travel industry within the state. And second point, as far as my experience, I would like to share a case, one case over here, how skilling has really garnered a space in the industry for our students. So I'll share one of the example of my BVOC students in my university. So I adopted the mechanism of skilling in BVOC in hospitality in lateral spirit. So what happened after that? My all students in the BVOC tourism and hospital, they got a lot of opportunities from the industry, and they are really doing successful things from the industry. They are being treated as equivalent to their employees, doing their trainees also. Because what is the curriculum as this particular, I would say, this curriculum in the BVOC tourism, we have 3-year degree, and out of 3-year degree, 18 months they go into the industry, and 18 months they are in the university. So industry and university, that collaboration, as we have discussed about the industry academy, that is very important if we want